I've come across a video on attitude, which I think will be of immense benefit to our audience based on the subject matter of personal development that we've been talking about a couple of months now. I would like you to look at the video. Let's see the video and then we react after.
Poverty is not a state you are in, it's an attitude. It's an attitude. It's either your attitude to work, your attitude to problems, your attitude to people, your attitude to services, your attitude to customers. It's an attitude problem. You can be an Uber driver and be the best Uber driver. You can even be a house help, a house boy. Joseph was a house boy, was a slave in short, below a house boy. But the blessing of God was upon his life.
In this life that we live, for a life of adventure and a life of success, you're going to make a lot of decisions, successive decisions. And one of the decisions is to have a good attitude in many of the situations. I was asking a friend that if your brother hands you poison and you put in your tea, what will happen to you? And he said you will die. What about if your enemy hands you sugar and you put in your tea? What will happen? He said nothing will happen to you. So it doesn't matter who hands you the poison. It will do the damage that it will do. If you have a bad attitude because you had a broken heart, or your parent didn't take care of you, or life has whipped you in such a way that you are not able to resuscitate the goodness in you, and you let your light dim, guess what? If the light goes out, what get dominance? Darkness. If sickness takes over your life, health cannot be in that same space. So it's evil and good always at war. It's a life of war, physically, socially, mentally, spiritually. You have to always make sure that you have this attitude that overturns every situation like a negative attitude, because it can even repel opportunities from you. Let me just give you a scenario. Think about all these negative attitudes I'm going to list and see how it's going to affect you. But before I even mention the attitude, my father told me one of the interesting stories. He said to me that just by going out in the rain without taking an umbrella, you have already accepted the responsibility to be whipped or to be drenched that day. So your umbrella is to have a cover and know that evil is always lurking in the dark. Anger is lurking in the dark. Worrying and complaining is lurking in the dark. Being lackadaisical, indifferent, and being pessimist. All these are negative attitude of diseases that can easily erase your future and your promise. If you meet your destiny helper and you are indifferent, you are not dressed well, you don't have good manners, you are dismissive, you are snobbish, or somebody gives you an appointment, you know you've been searching for a job for a long time, and he said, come to my office tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And at 7 a.m. you are sleeping, you are still in bed, you are indifferent, you are thinking, oh, from here to that place is 30 minutes, and that day there's traffic. You are not serious about your life. Maybe it's a one-time opportunity, or somebody gives you something in confidence. Then the next thing he finds, it's on your page. It means you are not discreet. All these are diseases of attitude. You don't have to be in a hurry to be known and to be seen. Build value, build equity. Everything that you have opportunity to do, pour it on. Whatever your hands finds to do it well. If you are employed as a receptionist, one of the tenets of a receptionist is a good attitude and a smile. You cannot have a frown face and expect God to bless you. Your blessings came that day. All these people came to visit in the office, but you had a very terrible attitude and snobbish attitude, and you had nothing that day to even take Trotro or Uber and go home that day. That is the disease of attitude. Pessimist is thinking that instead of him trying to look at the positive side, whether the glass is half empty or half full, he's always thinking the glass is half empty. He's a warrior. You know, a warrior is like the children of Israel. When God was rescuing them from the Egypt, they were complaining about the mountain, the temperature, water, the food doesn't have meat, and God finally got tired. If you are somebody who complains too much in life, even God has a limit that he can go, and to cancel your future in any least opportunity. All the children of Israel, only 2 of them got to the promised land. The rest all died on the desert. Even God cannot take as much. So if you have these diseases, indifference, that you know that you have to take chances upon yourself, But 7 a.m., you are still in bed. You want somebody to come and turn you on like a radio. Your alarm has gone off. You put it off. Alarm go on, you put it off. And your friend is waiting outside. That come and let's go and take chance upon ourselves. Then you say no. You have all the 1,001 excuses. And you are behind in your car payment. You are behind in your rent payment. These are the diseases that take away all your blessings. Because once you allow the noxious weed a chance, it is going to take over your garden. And the garden could be your promise of the future. Disease of attitude is not something that anybody should tolerate.